Got the new Latrax Teton with us here in the studio. This is brand new out from Traxxas. They just released this. I got it last night actually, and I haven't had a chance to film it yet. I've already taken it out of the box. Figured it'd be just easier to get it out so I could show you immediately the things that it included. This model, those of you who may be familiar with the rally car will note that it did not have oil-filled shocks. This one does. Very nice shocks actually. They've got a very good feel to them. Oil-filled coilovers, and they feel great. I mean, nice and smooth for a Traxxas shock. They feel really good. Should be pretty good. This also has full ball bearings. It is equipped with steel ring gear and pinion, not motor gears, the differential gears. Now that's good news. I was really kind of worried about that because the rally car, I've already been hearing, I'm gonna get rid of that. I've already been hearing grumblings, on the forums and in the local shop. Guys have been complaining about the rally car. They've been stripping the gears out, especially if they went brushless. So I was concerned about that. This one actually has a steel ring gear and pinion, front and rear, which is really nice. I think it's the only one of its class that actually has that. So in that way, it's ready to go for brushless systems. Four-wheel drive, full ball bearings throughout. It is also, being Traxxas, completely waterproof. Legendary waterproofing, actually. Speed control, the receiver's in a nice box. We've got a waterproof servo, all separated electronics, which is really nice as well. And it's ready to go. Get it muddy, dirty, whatever. I did notice, this is one thing that I was surprised about, actually. If you look at, the tires, there's no foam in the tires. I was actually shocked at that. I thought, wow, and I'm still going, the tires actually feel pretty good. They're, nice and rubbery, very soft. They just don't have much support in them. Not that this truck's very heavy, mind you. Probably doesn't need a lot of foam anyway, but it was just interesting to see a modern, RC car that didn't have foam in the tires. That's more of a vintage Tamiya re-release kind of a thing. So the Mini Teton, this is a pretty nice little truck. Let me show you what it comes with. We've got a 2.4 remote. Now, this is a typical Traxxas remote. You're going to recognize that shape, TQ. It's got a Latrax logo on it, powered by Traxxas. It's obviously a Traxxas radio, foam wheel, nice feel, good grip, pretty nice radio. Now, not maybe my favorite ready-to-run radio, but there are a whole lot worse out there than this remote. That's pretty nice. They give you a 1200 milliamp, 6-cell nickel metal battery. We've got the Tamiya plug on this thing as well. Not the traditional 18th scale tiny little plug that you typically see. They've got a full-size Tamiya plug on it. So that was a little bit interesting. Wall charger to go along with it. Now this is a basic unit. It comes with, this is, it says on here, it takes, what does it say? 3.5 hours for a 1200 milliamp battery. For a 3000 milliamp battery, it takes 8 hours. So, definitely slow here, but they have included a charger for you to use, which is nice. That's a nice thing. If this is your first RC car, you're maybe looking at getting into RC and you kind of pick this one out, you do get a charger, so you don't have to buy one right away. It will charge the battery, but you'll have to wait, half a day to do that. Maybe throw it in the morning before you go to school and then, or whatever maybe the case is. And then around, early afternoon, you're going to be ready to go. So I would save your pennies and get a nicer peak charger will do it in about an hour. That's just my opinion. And I think most would agree with me. You also get 4 AA batteries for the remote. So, it's a complete ready-to-run package. This is actually surprising for me because I'm not used to Traxxas doing that. That's a new thing for them, so that's nice. Also, remote, or the instruction manual here. This has instructions for programming your remote or syncing your remote. You've also got instructions for the ESC, programming and that sort of thing. In the back, you've got some exploded views, so you can see the part numbers and everything in case you've got to repair this. Pretty nice little outfit. I like this truck. Let's zoom in now and take a closer look. Let's take the body off this guy and have a close look underneath. Now you'll notice that of the 18th scale monster trucks, this is the only one that has kind of an SUV body to it. Think of it as a baby, the shell anyway, reminds me of a baby Telluride. You know what I mean? Which is cool. I like the Telluride. This is not trying to be a scaler in any way. I mean, it's an 18th scale monster truck through and through. But we've got just, you know, a scaled down version of that body. It's the only one out there that's not, you know, the truck body on the 4x4. So pretty decent. Oh, we got these. Had to cut it out of the box. Don't want those in there. All right. Here we are underneath. Pretty, you know, I mean the shocks, like I said, they feel really good. They look like they'd be fairly durable units. I mean, they are a plastic body, but I mean, that's to be expected on a truck like this. Plus you've also got non-adjustable suspension. You've got just your basic molded tie rods and camber links, which, you know, is not out of the ordinary at all there. We've got a 380 motor, pretty traditional 18th scale. We've got a pretty sealed up drivetrain too. I'm seeing the spur gear and everything is contained within the, you know, it's pretty shielded there. It is shaft drive up the center. Looks like it's got a metal drive shaft. So that's nice for those of you who want to go brushless. And as I said, let me show you this really quick. This is the box. Take a look. Metal differential gears, ring and pinion. So that's going to hold up to brushless pretty well. That looks pretty beefy. Full bearings, nice stuff. Now, we also have, over here, we've got the 7.2 volt battery tucked in there nicely. Looks like it's going to be pretty easy. It's got a nice battery door on it. It's going to be pretty easy to, get that out of there, change that to a nickel metal. I'm thinking probably a nice little 2200 milliamp nickel metal will fit nicely in there, I bet. I mean, 2200 milliamp LiPo. Let me get that straight. Waterproof steering servo. Waterproof speed control. That is a Latrax. Basically, that looks like a lot like a Traxxas XL 2.5. For those of you who know, I'm thinking programming is going to be pretty similar. And let's see, what else can we talk about? Fairly durable bumper assembly, front and rear. It's going to protect against impacts. Pretty nice little truck. Let me check really quick if I can find it. I'm going to look to see if it has I bet it has a LiPo cutoff, but I'm not 100% sure. So let me just look that up really quick. Okay, so according to the manual, there doesn't appear to be programming for LiPo cutoff, okay? So I'm not seeing that. However, it also states here the compatible batteries are 5 or 6 cell, 6 volts to 7.2 volt nickel metal. So that's telling me that it may not even be rated to handle a 7.4 volt LiPo. So, you know, use caution there. I'm going to run mine with it. We'll throw a LiPo in this and just see what happens. If we burn it out, well, that'll give us a reason to try a brushless system in it. But then I'll report back to you. That was kind of a disappointment. I was hoping for LiPo compatibility. But I did notice in here when I was messing with the car, this has 4 full CV drive shafts. Instead of the typical cup and dog bone design, let me push this up to the camera. You can see in there at the wheel, right up in here, you can see that's a universal drive. And they're front and rear. So that's nice. So we don't have LiPo compatibility, but we've got front and rear universals on this thing. Overall, I'm fairly pleased. All right, well that was our up close look on the new Latrax Teton by Traxxas. I dig this little truck. I really do. I like it. I think it's a fantastic little vehicle for what it is. Positives: legendary waterproofing. I don't think you get better waterproofing than, at least not from the factory, than a Traxxas car. Next thing I'm going to say, I like the suspension. The shocks, they feel pretty good. I mean, nice and smooth. Should handle the jumps and rough terrain pretty well. Another thing I really like, positive, we've got full universal joints, universal drive shafts all the way around. That's a nice touch. I think it's the only one in its category that has that, actually. And that's a nice feature. The other thing I really like is the steel differential gears. It's going to make going to brushless just worry-free, I think. It's a class exclusive to have steel diff gears in this category. And that's a nice touch. Negatives, downsides, I'm going to say the speed control was kind of a letdown. The fact that, not really so much that it didn't have a LiPo cutoff, more to the fact that, because we can put a LiPo alarm, we can put our own cutoffs, that kind of thing. But just the fact that, according to the book, it doesn't even handle more than 7.2 volt batteries. And that's kind of a concern. We might be burning something up if we put a LiPo in it. And that's kind of a drawback if that's the case, in my opinion. Another thing, I can't get over the no foam in the tires. That's getting kind of picky. That really is. That's getting, picky. I will say probably a negative is the price. Street price on this truck's $149.99 as of right now. Traxxas, Latrax, they're going to vary their prices a little bit, but as time goes on. But as of right now, $149.99. That's pretty steep in this category. I mean, there's a lot of competition for this truck. This is a pretty full class of cars. And this is sitting, I think, at the top in terms of price. So, the question there is it worth it? Are you getting that much money for it? I think possibly. It's really up to the person looking at the car. Is it worth it to you? That's the question. So I can't wait to go run this and try it out. Maybe it's not going to last very long with that speed control. I have no idea. We'll find out. So that's all I've got for you this time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.